So basically, in short, in the city, when I came in, there were a number of studies that said that the city does not have enough lights, and that lighting is heavily correlated, obviously, to things like public safety, but also pedestrian safety. So we have been putting up new lights all over the city of Albuquerque. Now, we started in our most sort of traditional and our income challenged neighborhoods, and we've put hundreds of lights up in the Southwest and in the International District, and also some in South Broadway and East San Jose, but also right here downtown. So we have about 500 new streetlights in the last 5 years. And as a reminder, we work with a partner, their name is Dalkia, who actually maintains the lights. And so we were also able to finish the commitment to make now roughly 100% of all of our streetlights should be LED and energy efficient, and they're also stronger. So that conversion we finished several years ago, but again, should be done. And that includes 22,000 city lights and 13,000 additional lights, which are technically owned by P&M. But we have a good agreement with them, and we were able to get that done to convert the old style bulbs into LEDs. Now, as we get closer here into downtown, one of the biggest challenges we've had has been in these alleys, like this one behind me. And we know that unfortunately, a lot of the challenges that we have, whether it's in a parking lot or in a bar, for example, when they spill out, it often leads to crime in these alleyways. And we also know that for public safety and pedestrian safety purposes, of course, we want to make sure that these areas are lit and we can keep them safe, even for the workers who come to work each and every night downtown. So we've added a lot of lights up and down downtown in these alleys. So we now have 50 new lights, like this one up here, which is kind of just turning on, gets a little brighter than that. But we've added 50 of those in alleys around gold, silver, lead, and coal. We also put a bunch of lights under that railroad track where Central goes under the railroad tracks. Now remember, eventually we're actually going to just move that sidewalk up as part of the rail trail, but in the meantime, we did add those additional lights. We also have 8 new lights on Marquette in 3rd in the parking lot that are coming soon, and some new lights on MLK around the murals. Now, part of this is essentially the beginning of much more of what we're going to do. And as you may have noticed earlier today, we had a joint announcement. Our governor is giving us $1.8 million to build on this work. And so this is really going to accelerate this effort, and it couldn't come soon enough. So we really appreciate that effort because it's going to allow us to sort of finish the job when it comes to lighting downtown. And so some of those additional lighting, as I mentioned, are going to go in parking lots and also on MLK and on to Harris. Now, new lighting is just one of the physical safety improvements that we're doing downtown. We also have put up multiple cameras up and down Central, and you've seen in past crime incidents, we've used those to actually apprehend folks and also to track down perpetrators and run license plates. So we also have license plate readers, and of course this area is part of our shot spotter, our gunshot detection zone. So these are all additions in the last, let's say, 18 months roughly. We're continuing our target enforcement and active monitoring efforts. That's our TEAM program, something that we have felt has made a big help in terms of lowering crime downtown. Now, I'm going to introduce some other folks from APD who are going to talk about this, but we have seen a reduction, an increase in enforcement and a reduction in crime. But we also know, like, we have a long way to go, and that was evidenced by the shooting even a couple of weeks ago. Lastly, we continue the Project Echo, which has been one of the first things we started. Every business downtown, we encourage them to participate in the Echo project. That is a project that coordinates businesses and even landowners with APD on a weekly basis for public safety. So if folks are not involved in that, we encourage them to. I think folks who are involved in that would attest to how successful it's been. But again, a long way to go. Last thing I want to preview is we've had a lot of challenges, and with New Year's Eve coming, another reason why we want to talk about this, with traffic control. And we continue to experiment with the best way to keep downtown safe, but also allow the businesses to remain open, and how we sort of do traffic. And so we've continued to trial and error different programs. But I think we have all settled on something that will be helpful in the long term, which is a set of decorative gates. They're going to be substantial, that you can't drive through them, unlike some other gates that we tried. But they're also going to be sort of aesthetically appropriate for downtown. And they're going to be able to open and close. This is going to get around this notion that sort of it's always under construction, or we have these temporary barriers up all the time. Those are scheduled to be done by the summer. So as long as our sort of contractors can hit that deadline, we're going to have something, frankly, we should have had a long time ago, but it's going to include 22 different locations that we can gate strategically, not all at the same time, but depending on what we're doing. A block party, downtown, we're gonna have the flexibility to have traffic control in a way that actually works with the community and is easy for APD to operate. So that's on the way. Okay, now, with that, we're going to hear from a couple of folks with some details on this. Let's start on the civilian side with our Deputy Director of Public Works, or DMD as we call it, Municipal Development, Jennifer Amaro.
DMD. I'm really excited to talk to you about the $1.8 million that is going to be infused into the downtown lighting here in this region. As you may not know, the lights went in about 1970. So the current lights are about 50 years old, and as is typical of aging infrastructure, they're starting to, we're having a lot of outages and we're having short circuiting. So our main goal with the project is to upgrade the vault boxes, the conduit, as well as the wiring, the circuit breakers. Our other problem with keeping the lights on downtown is the vandalism and theft. And so as part of the replacement of the wiring, we're going to replace all the copper with aluminum, which is less likely to be stolen. And we're also going to look at securing our vaults as well as our handholds, which are the ports that you access the street lights from. And our other item we're going to do is to add measures to prevent people from being able to pull the wiring out of the conduit. The last item that we're going to do as part of this project is we want to add smart nodes onto the street lighting where it's feasible. These smart nodes will allow us to know real time when there's an outage. Right now we're relying on our streetlight contractor, on our staff, as well as the public to notify us of streetlight outages. With this immediate notification, we can put in work tickets and get the repairs done immediately. The other item that these smart nodes will allow us to run the lights more efficiently, and this will be a cost savings to the city.
When we talk about the downtown core, it's from Broadway to 12th Street, Cole to Lomas. And that geographical area is covered by 9 officers specifically assigned to that area, 3 supervisors and 3 PSAs or police service aides. Since the Downtown Public Safety Center or Don Perkins Public Safety Center has opened, we've seen an increase in productivity from not only officers but the business owners and residents. They've been more willing and able to move forward with their own crime prevention. You know, we're tasked with a lot of different things going on in the city, and having the owners of businesses and properties take it upon themselves to add additional lighting, cameras, signage for trespassing, that helps us in the long run when we're able to contact those folks or individuals and take enforcement action. Our Downtown Public Safety Center is open Monday through Friday. It's located at 4th and Central, and they are closed from noon to 1, but in that building we can take theft reports, vandalism reports, crash reports, lost item reports. So if you have any of those things and you are in the area and you'd like to stop by, we're more than willing to help you during our open hours. Since the creation of the Downtown Public Safety District, we've seen an impact on not only crime reduction, but the positive feeling from patrons coming downtown, whether they're from New Mexico or from out of state. And I come down quite often, different hours of the day, and I speak with people walking around, and they're amazed with how much we've invested in downtown, how much less of a problem they're seeing downtown, and they're just happy overall with what's going on with not only the police department, but with the city's investments in downtown area. With our proactive enforcement and our visibility from our downtown officers, year to date, our aggravated assaults are down 42%, sex crimes are down 32%, auto burglaries are down 9%. And, you know, some of the quality of life issues that we had complained to us, or was the largest complaint from patrons and business owners downtown were, people camping on the sidewalks, people coming into private property, businesses refusing to leave. And the majority of those folks, they're unhoused that we've come into contact with, so we're trying to offer them resources. But when they continue to come back, we're taking enforcement action. So our trespassing citations or arrests are up 84%. Our felony and misdemeanor warrant arrests are up 57%, and our new felony and new misdemeanor arrest charges are up 33%. At the beginning of the year, the administration, the mayor, Chief Medina, we wanted to focus on not only crime reduction related to property crimes and auto burglaries and violent crimes, but also crashes with pedestrians and vehicles. And one of the ways that we were able to prove and reduce some of those crashes were by traffic enforcement and education. Downtown alone is up 123% in traffic citations just this year, and it's about 6,900 citations from where they were at last year, this time. Downtown alone has recovered 30 firearms this year, just in this core, and 3 of the cases that we've had related to firearm offenses since we've implemented the gun-free zone with the U.S. Attorney's Office. 3 of those cases are being prepared to be turned over to the U.S. Attorney's Office to see if they're going to prosecute them. It is a deterrent for the would-be gun owners, criminal type, not to come downtown with guns. Some of the messaging hasn't gone out. They're still having some of the issues with people that are still possessing the firearms, coming downtown and committing those crimes. But for the most part, my officers have seen a reduction in fights and incidents involving the firearms downtown in this general area. The mayor did talk about targeted enforcement and active monitoring, or teams, and that's, the local businesses and residents of the downtown area have contributed so far $189,000. We've spent $150 of that in overtime, and with that, our reduction in crime has come with that. They've just in the past couple months, we've had 15 felony arrests during the team's overtime operations, 15 misdemeanor arrests, and on top of what the downtown team has issued, there's another 6,900 citations related to team's overtime downtown and 25 DWI arrests. Making the streets safer for downtown, the patrons, as the mayor talked about, when people are coming out from the bars in the middle of the night and they're wandering around the streets, we got to keep people slowing down and make sure people aren't getting hit. Along with that, the additional lighting has been a tremendous help for the officers down here. When someone's involved in criminal activities, they like not to be seen, they don't want to be filmed, they like to disappear into the shadows, but now we're making it difficult for them to disappear in the shadows because everywhere is going to have new lighting. We had a problem with individuals lighting fires in the alleyways, and that has reduced tremendously since we implemented the lights and they've all turned on. If we find a light out, the downtown officers immediately report it to DMD and they get it fixed right away. So it's been a tremendous help for us, and not only with the lighting up those specific areas, but when we have our cameras on, as the mayor talked about, we have cameras everywhere. Along the central corridor, gold, copper, and with the lighting helping light up the individuals involved in these criminal activities, we're able to ID them, put them on the TV or on blast on social media, and someone's IDing them and letting us know who these people are so we're able to hold them accountable. I would, again, like to encourage businesses to make their properties less vulnerable by increasing the lighting, making it more secure. We have a program, what's called Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design, or CPTED, and every area command has a crime prevention specialist that is willing to come out and go to your business, your property, your home, and do an evaluation for free. And they can talk about moving shrubs back from your front door to make it more visible from the streets and less likely to be burglarized. And there's a ton of things, but the main topic that usually comes up, especially at night, is lighting. So this project is helping us immensely. All the investments that they've spent on technology downtown, helping us identify offenders of violent crimes, has just been phenomenal, and I can't appreciate the chief and the mayor enough and the governor for supporting us in all these movements.